Okay, Mr. Wu, Mamiya.
Yeah.
There's a name. One of my favorites.
Mamiya.
M72.
Yeah, this Mamiya 7.2. This one is a medium format rangefinder camera. It has a auto and manual exposure, so you can have aperture priority. Set the aperture, put it on auto. The camera will decide the exposure, the shutter speed from 500 down to 4 seconds and B. Now, rangefinder cameras are quite good. Just that today there are not many rangefinder left. If you were around in the 40s, in the 50s, there are plenty of rangefinder around. Every brand, from the lowest end to the highest end, you got rangefinder. So at that time, everybody knew how to rangefinder. But as the number of rangefinder become less and less over the year, and the SLR become popular, and so now today there are not many rangefinder cameras available, new. Leica still make them. Practically only Leica. The rest have faded off. So you give a rangefinder to a new person today, he doesn't know how to rangefinder. They have long time trying to make it work. But it was a very clever design, rangefinder. So rangefinder came in many sizes and shapes. We have 4x5 rangefinders, the Lenhof Technica, they are rangefinder. The speed graphic also 4x5, also got rangefinder. Then the medium format cameras have rangefinders. The 35mm camera also have rangefinder. The spy camera, tiny ones, also have rangefinder. So rangefinder is a type of camera that uses a certain focusing system. If you have friends in Germany or you read the German publication, they call this the telemeter. Telemeter means it's an optical device to measure distance. Actually, the telemeter was also used for non-photography, used by people who need to measure distance, surveyor. They use the optical principle of triangulation. So you sight an object at a distance and they have a split beam, and you sight the same object from a different angle, and there is a device to turn, and you merge the two images together, and that will give you the reading of the distance. That's the principle of the telemeter. So that device is put into the camera so that with this device you can do the focusing. So you turn the focusing on the lens, and inside the finder you see the double image in the middle. You match the double image, and there you are focused. So rangefinder, but this one in a medium format camera body. So this camera takes 6x7 film size. So in a row of 120, you get 10 shots to a roll. The pressure plate can be rotated. Now it's pointing 120. You can switch it to this side, to 220. It's the same height, same width, but double the length. So you can get 20 shots to the roll. And they have a special adapter. They put 135. They will mask off the bottom and the top, so you can take long panorama 35mm images. So this is the film. So we call this type of camera the Texas Leica, because it looks like a Leica, but it's big, huge. Everything in Texas is big, so we call it the Texas Leica. Fuji also has those big ones. We call it the Texas Leica. So essentially, in terms of operation, it's very similar to the Leica M7. M7 have exposure automation, changeable lens, and so on. So now, this camera uses shutter that's inside the lens shutter. So in order to change the lens, if you just take it out, you will expose the film. So there is a mechanism for you to do that safely. So after winding the film, there's a little key at the bottom. You give it a twist. This twist will close the secondary shutter. At the back, there's a secondary shutter. Once it's sprung into position, you can take out the lens. You see, there's a shutter to block it. Then when you mount the lens, after you mount the lens, in order to take a picture, you got to release it so you can see. I released the one. So the curtain inside opens up. Then you can make the exposure. So you can wind. You got multiple exposure. You got this is to tell yourself what film you put inside. And you can put the eye correction lens here for your eyesight. So nice camera. Got self timer. It's an electronic shutter. Runs on battery, but images are good. Very good. Mamiya 7.
Wow, fantastic.
Earlier they had an earlier one, the Mamiya 6. The Mamiya 6 was a square negative, so it got 12 to the row. Also with changeable lens. So then they come up with the Mamiya 7.
Similar to the Hasselblad 6x6?
Yeah. So they have now 6x7. Earlier there's a Mamiya 7, and then they added a 7.2. So they have a variety of lens, wide angle, standard, and telephoto.
Wow, beautiful.
Beautiful camera.
Yeah. Must be quite rare these days.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Wu.
Right, welcome.
Everybody
Bye.
enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.